Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, July the 15th. How are you doing? And how is that coffee tasting on this fine Taco Tuesday Eve? What a weekend, folks. Welcome to the show. Obviously, we're going to start talking about this because this really feels like the only thing we should be talking about. Although I know most of us are probably sick of talking about it. Before we get into the events of this weekend, good morning. And let me just say, too, I think I'm going to end up, this is a members-only stream, obviously, live stream, but I think I'm going to make the show available for everyone on the Zeducation channel, just so, I saw comments, why didn't you make a video about it? I'm like, all right. There was a statement that I posted on the pinned comment and in the description of yesterday's video. We record all of our videos about a week ahead of time. So I actually recorded last Sunday's video last Monday. That's how we keep our schedule. That's how we try to stay ahead of things. When things like this happen, it's really tough to include them in our shows and talk about them. It feels like, this should be the only thing that matters, right? When something horrific like this happens, and thank God it wasn't worse, it's hard to sit and watch a you laugh, you lose, or sit and watch a baseball game, right? Because we were literally a centimeter away from possibly a very, very catastrophic situation in our country. Anyways, so I want to make this available for everyone so we can, sit and talk about it, and I'm not completely ignoring this. I would never do that because I feel more fired up than I've felt since probably 2016. Not in a, retaliation way, but a get out and vote way, I guess, if you want to say that, or just, I don't know. I'm pissed. I'm angry. I'm angry because obviously if you guys, unless you live under a rock, Trump got shot at this weekend at a rally. I don't care how much you hate a politician. This should be left to third world countries. And even then, it's like, this is happening here in America. It's disgusting. That being said, this is what we've been talking about for years now. This is what the left has cultivated, the media specifically. Trump's Hitler. Trump's a threat to democracy. If he gets in power, the world's going to end. We're all going to die. I said this when I was on the Dr. Drew show, and I think I've said this several other times. When in 2016, running up to the election, we had a family friend that had a trans sister and was convinced, and not just convinced, they knew it was the truth to them. It was a fact that if Trump won in 2016, their trans sister was going to be put into a camp, be forced to detransition. They thought that was going to happen. They knew it was going to happen. How did they get that insane idea in their head? It's when they consume too much Morning Joe, too much CNN, too much garbage, too much rhetoric from these Democratic politicians. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist on the right either. There's some rhetoric there as well, but nothing like the left, like they've demonized Trump. And not to mention, none of that's true. You see all these videos now of people coming out. They're like, oh, yeah, I saw this clip recently that it showed a clip of Trump talking about the fine people. I always thought that was a real clip, and now I'm realizing it was all fake. Well, yeah, this is what we've all been trying to tell you. So anyways, this was a matter of time, unfortunately. And here's the worst part about this. This is the most disgusting part, is the reaction from a lot of these people. You probably have friends on social media that posted this, that posted things, horrific things like, oh my gosh, too bad, stuff like that. There's clips everywhere. You log into any social media platform, and there's posts about people posting these vile things, wishing that things had turned out differently. It's reprehensible. And that's the other very sad part of this. I feel like after this, and you saw this reaction from people, at least in my head, I'm like, wow, we really are a country divided, an irreparable division, it feels like. It feels irreparable. When you see your friends and family, and I didn't have any friends and family personally, but I saw, there were comments on a few of my posts on social media. But this is where people are. They're wishing this would have happened. They're hoping that this would have happened. How do you fix that? How do you repair that? I mean, even myself, I'm listening to Joe Biden talk, and I'm like, you son of a bitch. You helped to make this happen. Look at all this evidence of you calling Trump a threat to democracy. So anyways, I'm pretty fired up about it. It's disgusting. It's awful. So, and I just wanted to ramble a little bit, and obviously I didn't have any set structure in what to say here, but we had to address it, obviously. It was a very big deal. Very, 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 very big deal. Now, going forward on Zeducation, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I'm not going to, we joke about things all the time. We joke about politics. We talk about serious issues, but I want to keep it as lighthearted as possible. I don't want people to come to the channel and leave pissed off. We talk more seriously in the morning show, obviously. So that's what we're going to keep doing. There are a lot of memes. I even messaged Megan yesterday. I was like, man, should we try to, implement some of these? And even she was like, and she's a pretty good judge on this stuff, but she said, no, we absolutely should not do that. And she was right. It was not the time to make those jokes. So, we'll talk more about this here as the show goes on, but I wanted to start with that, especially for anyone new here that is tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to make this public for everyone after we do the live stream here. And if you are new here, hope you join us here in the future. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Little change of pace from the regular Zeducation contents and kind of a place for the community to get together and chat. So anyways, let's get into today's show. Let's go over the trending headlines. Let's do some fun stuff. Let's get into some trivia. First, let me get into the comments here. Let me get into the comments before we get to today's birthdays. A lot of here this morning. Mama want happy. Plagin, Esme, Birdie, Eric, good morning. Way to sound. Zedo. Life 9, glad you made it to a show or a live stream. Sweet Tea. Good morning, Elsa, Ripley, Ozark Mama, Buffy, Gert. Good morning, Gert. Sorry, I'm going to scroll forward here to the most recent comments here. Eric, I was incredibly impressed with Trump's quick reaction to the fallen rally goer and getting a fundraiser open for the family. Pretty sure Hitler wouldn't have done that. Agreed, Eric. Again, we're going to talk more about the details of the event here probably as the show goes on. Yes, someone did unfortunately die in the crowd. It was a firefighter, a dad, a husband. And obviously Trump's reaction. If Trump, after that event, does not win in a landslide, I would be shocked. There has to be some crazy event between now and the election to make him lose. And the betting odds, even the Democratic politicians are saying it, they're expecting a loss. That photo of Trump is going to live in history books forever. I mean, that was an iconic photo. The way he popped up after getting shot at and grazed with a bullet, bleeding from his face, incredible. All right. Happy. Our Gert says, Happy, how do you not check the only building 150 feet from Trump? We'll get to more of those details as well. Let's see. Esme, the individual who was killed, from what I'm hearing, was a fireman. Yes, he was. And let's see, Zeto, the only acceptable statement from POTUS yesterday was the political violence I and my party have advocated for the last 8 years has no place in America's society, and his comment was, we're gaslighting. Yep, that's the only thing he could have said to make me have an ounce of respect for him, and he did not do that. He blamed it. He deflected blame elsewhere. So, scumbag. Magda, Tyler Zed, true colors. When things go south, people show their true colors. So those posts on Trump that wished him hurt, karma is all I can say. You're 1,000% right, Magda. People show their true colors when things hit the fan. When even in go to your work day. Well, how do your coworkers act when they get really stressed out? That's probably their true colors. When people are stressed out, when they get put under a little pressure, and this is clearly an extreme case, and that's back to Trump though. When he got shot at like that and popped right up, that shows who he truly is. And for me, that's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see. But all right, guys, we'll get back to the comments. We'll talk more here. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be mostly what we talk about today, but let's try to stick with our regular format of the show. Birthdays. All right. Edward Price, your birthday was Saturday. Mark Thompson and Juan Friesen, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Sunday. And today is Debbie. So all four of you, Mark, Juan, Debbie, and Edward, happy birthday. I kind of feel bad for you guys. Between like now and I would say August, late August, like it's hot. Oh, I also got a lot of crap yesterday in the videos for saying it's a dry heat in San Antonio. It's drier than here, okay? It truly is. San Antonio's a little deserty, guys. I'm not totally wrong there. All right. Moving on to our national holidays. Today, Social Media Giving Day, National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. The hell did you do to get in the doghouse, buddy? And why the hell did you marry someone who would put you there? You can't have a conversation? Come on. National Gummy Worm Day. I used to like those, but I don't know, man. I don't trust what's in those. Tapioca pudding. National I Love Horses Day, and National Pet Fire Safety Day. Pretty lame day. Moving on to money. Last Friday, stocks all green. This morning, everything green. Moving on to bonds. 10-year 4.23. Oil 82.14. Gold over 2,400 again. Silver 30.89. And Bitcoin approaching 63,000. I think it dipped down to 53 at one point last week. But this was, Trump is the pro-Bitcoin candidate. He's made that very clear. He's going to speak at the Bitcoin conference. He has fully endorsed it. He says we will not let the government interfere with Bitcoin. That's his platform now. That's the Republican platform now. And I love it because you guys know that I'm very pro-crypto, specifically Bitcoin. We have a very big problem with the US dollar. The moments the market realized that Trump was okay and that he was not shot, Bitcoin shot up. And this morning it just keeps going up. So we may have reversed the trend, the downtrend. Who knows? But like I said, my philosophy on that is you buy and hold for 10 years. You're going to want it here in the next decade. Just my opinion. But all right, and let's see. Bitcoin jumps as markets see increased odds of election victory for pro-crypto Trump. And the market is predicting Trump to win now. They already were predicting him to win. We'll go over some of the betting odds here in a little bit. But Vegas is now predicting with like over 70% certainty that he's going to win the election. Yeah. I think, again, they need a miracle. They need a literal miracle for Biden to have a chance. The election is Trump's to lose. All right, before we get to, well, you know what? Let's get to these trending headlines, and then we'll get back into the comments. Let's see. All right, so let's go back to Friday. Number one trending headline Friday, Alec Baldwin. The Alec Baldwin case was dismissed. So, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were on a movie set. There would have been no reason for live ammunition to be there. So, because the thing was that he had neglect. He should have checked. Should have treated the firearm as it was loaded, right? And he didn't, and it was loaded. But his defense was, why would there have been live ammunition on a movie set? There's no reason for that. These are supposed to be props. But anyways, that's the little summary that I have seen. Unan Djokovic, Indiana Fever, Captain America, Brave New World. Did any of you? Oh, is this just a trailer? Brittany Griner coming home by Brittany Griner. Blah blah blah. That's a documentary. It looks like AT&T data breach. If you have AT&T, allegedly all of your phone data, your calls, your text messages, all of your data got it stolen and is in the hands of someone. I don't know. We do not use AT&T, luckily. But I'm pretty sure every big place has had a hack at some point, I feel like. I don't know why this is on Thursday. This should be on Friday, but The Shining. Shelley Duvall. She is the wife in The Shining. She passed away at 75. R.I.P. Shelley Duvall. Very iconic movie. Moving on to Saturday. Trump, 10 million searches. So what we know about the alleged shooter. Surprisingly, it's really weird, man. We really don't know much. We know that he was 20 years old from a town about 30 minutes away from where the rally was held. He was allegedly an outcast in school. Again, allegedly got bullied all the time. Then there's so many rumors on the left, which it doesn't even matter. But let's say he was a Republican. It doesn't matter. If he was a Republican that got brainwashed by all this rhetoric. That's the rumor. So the rumor is that he was a registered Republican in 2020, but he would have been 16 years old then, so that doesn't really make sense. And then the other conflicting part of that is he actually donated to a very liberal super PAC or a PAC, Act Blue. So he donated money to them. So very conflicting things. But in my mind, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. He was ingesting garbage propaganda, and I'm assuming that that's what made him act. All these hateful politicians hypocritically talking about the threat to democracy. It's a threat to democracy. You're the threat to democracy. You're the one sowing this division. All right, Richard Simmons passed away this weekend. R.I.P. Richard Simmons. 3, Spain and England, CNN, News Today, Republican National Convention. That is this week. I believe that is the 17th. Is that tomorrow? No, Wednesday. I think it's the 17th. In Milwaukee. After what happened, it's going to be nuts. Trump will name his VP there. That's the rumor. The most recent rumors I've heard is Vivek or JD Vance. There's like 3 other guys that they keep talking about, but we'll see who he picks. You know what? On this shooting here, while we're on it, because I've seen a few comments. There are some wild conspiracies. You know, and I do want to play a video for you. Let's do it right now. I don't know if you guys are going to hear the sound on this. So,
look, they're all pointing.
So, okay, before I play this video, if you are listening on the podcast here this morning, this is a video before the shooting, and there's literally a crowd of people looking at the building, and they're pointing out to a cop. You can see the cop here on the screen. He's walking towards the building. They're like, hey, there's a guy there. He's crawling on the rooftop. Hey, hey, hey. They're telling him. So let's just watch this real quick.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there.
Yeah, there's several people.
Right there, see him?
Point him out.
He's laying down. See him?
So you can see this guy.
What's happening?
I don't know if you guys can hear this or not, but yeah, it's just Trump speaking in the background.
Oh, look. There he is.
People are saying, hey, there he is. You can literally see him crawling on the building, the rooftop. Last I heard now, people yelling, he's on the roof, he's on the roof. So there's videos of this. There's people knew that he was in there, that he was there. Now, the last I saw was that the Secret Service is saying that that building was not their responsibility. The building itself was like 150 yards away, which is very close. Very close. So if you're thinking logically, if you're just like someone, all of us, I'm sure, saying, why was that not like the first place? Why was there not someone stationed on that rooftop? Like, how did this happen? So the Secret Service is like allegedly deflecting blame. That was not their responsibility, they say. So it would have been local law enforcement, allegedly. Now, all of these videos like that, people, they like to cherry pick these things, these oddities, like people in the crowd. I saw someone zoom in on someone in the crowd like they were trying to signal something. Whenever anything happens, I say this all the time, people start their conspiracies. A bird could hit a windshield and there's a conspiracy. Someone will find a conspiracy with that. It's insane. Now you get these major events like this, there's a conspiracy. There's people mostly on the left that say, oh, Trump staged this. They staged this. My first question is, if they wanted to stage this, why would they take some 20-year-old turd that is allegedly an outcast that can't shoot? That's another thing. He was so bad at shooting that he tried to join his shooting club in high school and they kicked him out because he was so bad. It was a danger to the other people, allegedly. So that was the way you're going to do it. They're going to stage this whole thing. Doesn't make sense. The clear answer to this, the simplest answer to this of why this happened, incompetence. That's why this happened. Straight incompetence. Did you guys see the Secret Service team around Trump? I was like, oh my gosh, I would not feel safe with that group of people guarding me. It was kind of embarrassing, to be honest. You had like overweight 5'2" women in the service detail. Like, well, how did that happen? This is like the most hated guy in the world, and you guys are going to guard him with that? That's just my opinion, but I think it's the right one. If I had ever had a service detail, I would not let that happen. Anyways, it's gross incompetence, clearly. So, at this point, I'm ignoring the conspiracies. It's nuts. It's crazy. And to think that, here's the other two that, because I thought about this for a little bit. Why would he even need to do that? Dude, he's running against a corpse. Why would he need to stage something like that to rally support when he was probably already going to win? I really think so. Biden, he can barely talk. Like yesterday, he made a statement, and he said something, we do this at the battle box, trying to say ballot box. The guy can't even talk. So he didn't need to do this. And wouldn't it make more sense that pretty much everyone and their grandma can see that Trump is the front runner right now? And wouldn't it make more sense for an angry Democrat to try to take actions into their own hands? Wouldn't that make more sense? Thinking logically here? I don't know. The internet is tiring in that every single thing that happens has some sort of grand conspiracy behind it. It doesn't. And that's the scarier thing. A little bit scarier. Things are a little bit more chaotic than people realize. And if that's the truth, which I think it is, that is a much darker truth. All right, news today. Republican National Convention, where I did that. Breaking news, Dr. Ruth Westheimer, sex therapist, dies at 96. NBC News, Fox, Elon Musk. So after this happened, shortly after this happened, many, many people endorsed Trump. Elon Musk, Bill Ackman. I saw athlete after athlete. Sauce Gardner, if you guys know who he is, he's a pretty big football player, plays for the Jets. He endorsed him. A lot of people. Who's the other big football player I saw? The defensive end for the Raiders. So it's already happening. And I had this that I was going to save for later too, but according to Axios, a senior House Democrat tells Axios, we've all resigned ourselves to a second Trump presidency. So this is how powerful this was. They're all expecting this to happen. All right, we'll get to some more stuff here in a bit. So let's keep moving on. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., they need to get him Secret Service detail ASAP. They have denied Robert F. Kennedy Secret Service detail for months now. Whether you like him or not, he should have Secret Service detail, especially considering the history with his family. Nikki Haley, blah. Reagan assassination attempt. So I think that was like the last major one in the United States. JFK and New York Post. All right, moving on to yesterday. Argentina, Colombia. So I think Argentina won. Shannon Doherty death. Alyssa Milano relaxed to charmed co-star. So I don't know who that is, but R.I.P. Shannon Doherty. She was 53. Very sad, very young. Jacoby Jones, another very sad one. 40 years old, former football player, played for the Ravens. I think he played for some other teams too, but passed away at 40. Carlos Alcaraz, looks like he won. Shakira, Fever's Lynx. Lamine Yamal. MLB draft. Didn't even know what was going on yesterday. It's kind of one of those things, one of the most uneventful drafts, because you draft a player in the first round and 3 out of 30 players in the first round ever make something of themselves. And you have to wait about 5-6 years before they make it to the MLB, if they make it. So it's like the most unexciting draft in all of sports. Kate Middleton, BlackRock, wildly the shooter. So this is where, people start connecting dots. BlackRock made a commercial at the shooter's school like 2 years ago, and he was in the commercial. BlackRock removed the commercial from all of their, sites or whatever. And this is this is it, dude, BlackRock, man. Ugh. They picked this kid 2 years ago when he was in high school, man. Get out of here, man. San Francisco 49ers, Bastille Day, Benny Thompson, home run derby. Danny Travis Bazana, Australian second baseman. That's kind of cool. You don't see many Australian baseball players. There's a couple that are pretty good. Wiz, Pocono Raceway, Shakira, and CBS. All right. Let's get on to some more. First, let's get into some comments here. Kind of stick to some more recent ones. Happy, what was the deal with the request for more better Secret Service for Trump being turned down? Well, there you go. That he has requested Secret Service several times, more Secret Service from what I have heard. Esme BS, when the prez comes to the Chicago, we get a paper order of posts where local law enforcement will be posted, where Secret Service is posted, where state police is posted. It's documented. Show us the order. They, again, gross incompetence. There was allegedly, I keep saying that because we don't know all the details yet, but the latest report I saw, there was actually a police officer that confronted him while the shooter was on the rooftop. But the shooter pointed a gun at the officer, and the officer backed down. That was the report. Once again, the explanation, gross incompetence. Ozark Mom, in all honesty, we should and need to be questioning everything. I agree. I agree to a degree. We have this wild scale right now. We have the ultra gullible, the one who will believe everything on their television, the one who still wears a mask today in 2024. We have that. We have the ultra gullible, and then we have the ultra skeptical. Both extremes are not good. Look, we should be skeptical, especially in today. We have been lied to repeatedly over and over and over and over again by places we were supposed to be able to trust. The New York Times, CNN. All these places, these media outlets have lied to us over and over. So yes, we should be skeptical. But there's a line. Damar Hamlin is not dead. I use that example all the time. It's just, everything is not a conspiracy. That's my point, and I'm sticking to it. But there is healthy skepticism, absolutely. And we should be skeptical. But there is an extreme. And a very large part of the population is on that extreme. Let's see. Buffy, Esme, we'll see if they release those orders here at some point. And if they don't, if they never had those orders, there should be people that are fired. The Secret Service lady, she should be fired. Buffy, I heard about that too, Happy. Something smells rotten in Denmark. What did I see? What did Happy say here? John Riggs, hi. Good morning, John Riggs, bro. Good morning. Elsa, baseball is the only sport I like watching. Happy, are you guys seeing the chat on your TV? Happy, I don't know if the chat pops up on the TV. I don't think it does. Surprisingly, YouTube is it's different from mobile to laptop to TV. It's vastly different. For example, if you're watching this for the first time, you're joining us on the morning show after we've live streamed, you might be watching it on your phone. You might be possibly looking for the join tab. You can't find it on your phone. You have to go onto a laptop, or you have to go onto a desktop, or you have to go to the description of the Zeducation YouTube channel to find the join tab. Let's see, Dave. Let's see when Tyler finds out he's going to be VP. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to handle that, man. Ash's RC Garage finally made it to my first live chat. Good morning, Ash. Let's see. Mandy, good morning. But we will still never went to the moon. Oh. Well, hey, I understand that skepticism. Internet Secret Service turned down for Trump and RFK Jr. too. Too much personal changing diapers, I guess. Let's see. Internet Zombie, whatever, man. Damar Hamlin is a clone. Trust me, bro. Stop. Stop it. You stop it right now, Internet Zombie. You stop. All right. All right. Yeah, we'll let Esme. Esme's she'll be the head of the Secret Service. All right, let's get on to some more headlines. So corporate media, what are they all saying? Trump celebrates miracle survival of assassination attempt, explains why he asked about his shoes. So that was one of his things. They were trying to wish him or get him off the stage, and he asked for his shoes. Then he did the fist bump. And there's another thing that people will point to, but trust me, when your adrenaline gets going, you're in that fight or flight, people do weird things. So asking for your shoes, that's one of the less weird things I've heard people do when their fight or flight kicks in. This one, hilarious. MSNBC pulls Morning Joe off air following Trump attempted assassination. I wonder why. I wonder if this prick right here, if he had anything to do with doing, this rhetoric. He's about one of the worst ones I've seen as far as the rhetoric goes. The anti-Trump, he's Hitler, he's going to burn down the country type rhetoric. Right here. He's definitely one of the many who should be held responsible for stuff like this. The polarization of the country. Spewing lies. Fine people. He's one of those idiots that spewed that. All right. CNN this morning. RNC to kick off just days after Trump assassination attempts. Wow, I'm shocked. CNN, got to give them the props. They actually finally used the word. They said assassination attempt. There were many outlets. I think New York Times specifically. I believe it was New York Times. If I'm mixing it up, it's all right. They have their other fair share of garbage on their newspaper. But they were using things like Trump, the shooting. They refused to use the word assassination attempt because that's what this was. They wouldn't say it. The former president is set to officially become the Republican nominee after being injured in the deadly shooting. So, New York Times, and wow, they changed their tune after yesterday. They probably got so much flack. FBI hunts for would-be assassin's motive. So we'll see what that motive is. Clearly, I wonder if he just didn't like Trump, if he hated Trump. I wonder. All right. George, I just posted the New York Post article about the shooter in BlackRock on my Facebook, and my laptop is shut off. I'm back, but I don't know why it happened. Weird. I'm on my phone. It works. Yeah, the chat works on your phone. Ozark Mama, are you using browser? Oh, talking about the chats. Okay, Brace Polecat. Anybody see Elvis in the crowd in the video? Just kidding. The conspiracy needs to be filtered because I've heard too many crazy, dumb ones. No, and I'm all for not censoring those people. I think I want to know who the crazy people are. Let them say their crazy things so I can, in the future, just know to ignore whatever they say because they're probably crazy. So, yeah, that's one of the great things about free speech, right? Is you get to see what people say and selectively listen to them in the future. And hopefully counter what they say with good information if you want to waste your time. Don't waste your time in the comments. All right, let's get on here. Let's get on to something different. We got some not-so-trending headlines coming up. But first, what do we got for birthdays today? The famous birthdays. Gabriel Iglesias, 48. I always thought he was older. Damian Lillard, 34. Basketball player. What else here? What else? I feel like that guy looks familiar. Is he in something? In a big movie? Taylor Kinney, 43. Forrest Whitaker, 63. He's in a lot of stuff. And that's about all I know there. Moving on to entertainment. Stranger Things premiered in 2016. Very popular show on Netflix. I think it's one of their, if not their most streamed show by watch minutes on Netflix. It's not bad. I like it. They've got some garbage in there, but it's overall pretty good. Pretty quirky, pretty weird, pretty off the wall. Charlie and the Chocolate. That came out in 2005. Are you kidding me? The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. Wow. Ghostbusters. The woke version of Ghostbusters came out in 2016. Bullet Train 2022. Never saw it. It's with Brad Pitt. Kenan and Kel premiered 1996. I used to love that show growing up. Die Hard 1998. 1988. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right. Writing Crashers, 2005. Great movie. Something About Mary, 1998. Also a great movie. Probably one that would not be able to be made in 2024. Well, I should say 2020 to 2023. I feel like we're turning a corner on the wokeness. I really do. Feels like people are becoming a little bit more unfiltered, willing to make darker jokes, more non-politically correct jokes, and it feels like we've turned a corner. Angels in the Outfield. Wow. 1994. That was a great movie. Me and Dave watched that movie on repeats. When the Angels win the pennant, and then they freaking win the pennant. Sad, man. True Lies, 1994. Good movie. I think that's about all we got here. All right, moving on to our not-so-trending headlines. What do we got? Let's go back to before July 10th here. George Clooney. So this is before everything. This is what I'm saying. The Democrats already knew that they're in big, big trouble, and they're panicking. I think they've almost thrown in the white flag, the white towel. George Clooney calls on Biden to drop out of presidential race weeks after co-hosting fundraiser. He cannot win. They know it. They know he can't win. Even George Clooney, this is one of Obama's best buddies. One of the faces of Hollywood, coming out and saying, yeah, this is bad. They posted this. They've published it in the New York Times. So Democrats are in disarray. Once again, said it already, announcing President Donald Trump to speak at the Bitcoin conference, July 25th to 27th. So all of you, I know there's a lot of you that don't like it, don't understand it. I encourage you to try to understand it because it's coming. It's not going to be used as as an everyday currency, but it'll be used in with the dollar. And you should have listened a long time ago. Oh, Zed, you can't. Zed, it's a Bitcoin. It's imaginary magic money. Well, future president is endorsing it. So, let's see. Wisconsin election law says only one way to exit the ballot. Only way to exit from ballot is death. And then there's a fact check here. This is true only after a candidate is on the ballot. Joe Biden is not yet on the ballot and will not be until the Democratic Convention occurs in August. He can freely be replaced right now. So there we go. I've seen multiple other states say that the ballots are already set, and I think we even talked about this last week. So allegedly that's not true, but we'll see. Kevin Costner's Horizon 2 no longer has a release date after one was a huge box office flop. You hate to see it. I have not heard one person go and watch this. It's supposed to be a 4-part thing here in theaters, but yeah, it's not good for him. It's probably a really good movie, but the reviews weren't astounding. So 2 things. We had June CPI fell to 3.0%, below expectations of 3.1. So this was good news last Wednesday, I believe it was, or Thursday, I can't remember. Following day, producer price inflation went up. It was way above expectations. So we've got a mixed reports here on inflation. We want it to go lower, though. Obviously, we want that to happen. Otherwise, the higher the rates for longer, the worse the housing market's going to get, the worse everything's going to get. So we need rate cuts like ASAP. Obviously, we can't do it too soon because then inflation will go crazy again and we have an even worse situation. Companies going bankrupt at the fastest pace since 2020 in historic surge. There we go. Another red flag. Historic surge of bankruptcies. Not good. From Zero Hedge, this is insanity. $140 billion just on interest in 1 month. This is the amount of interest we pay on our debt as a country. $140 billion flushed down the toilet. Flushed down the toilet. Annualized interest payments on U.S. federal debt just reached an all-time high of $1.14 trillion. Double the amount of interest recorded in 2022. It's unsustainable. I've said it many times. Add it to the mountain of red flags already. Talked about Alec Baldwin. Federal judge rules that 156-year-old ban on at-home distilling is unconstitutional. So we'll see where that goes. I'm sure it's going to go up to another court. But all you at-home distillers, all you moonshiners, ting, you might be in for some good news. All right, now, a lot of different polls out. I always say take the polls with a grain of salt because you should. We've seen them many times say one thing and the elections turn out another way. The polls after the shooting. Trump up 10%, 70% chance to win. You got Biden at 17, Kamala at 8, and Michelle Obama at 3%. Then another one. You got all this whole map here. Of course, you got Minnesota leaning blue. I've said it many times. This place is likely irredeemable. I don't think it'll ever be red again, unfortunately. And I don't know how to fix that. But you have every toss-up state pretty much is red in this prediction. You got Virginia and Minnesota and New Mexico are leaning left, it says. So they're allegedly in play. We'll see. Now, another one, the balance of power. So you got the presidency was at 70%. Now it's at 72. This is this morning, 72%. Senate, 79% for Republicans. And Republicans, 56% chance to take the House. So this would be great. This would be phenomenal. When they get in there, they need to act. They need to cut. They need to get rid of things. They need to slash it all. All these programs that waste money, waste time, waste resources, get rid of them. All righty. Let's move on here. Dave, the U.S. dollar is imaginary money. Yes, it is, for sure. George, check your email. I'll check it out here. Grimace, good morning. Plague, and I'm hearing August, September, the rates are supposed to drop. Well, they're supposed to cut rates. Their next meeting is this month. There's rumors of them cutting in July, but it's probably not going to happen. It's likely going to be September. But it's still going to take time. It's going to take time for those rate cuts to kick in. And we'll see them on, our mortgages and other debt. So, Dave, I'm big on precious metals too. Metals, crypto, ammo, maybe BRICS currency. When that comes, diversification, alternatives to the falling U.S. dollar. Do it U.S. dollar. I would agree, 100%. The U.S. dollar will not continue its reign forever. Could go on for another year. Could go on for another 20 years. Could go on for another 100 years. I don't know. All I know is that inflation is here to stay. Our debt mountain is unpayable. It will never be fixed. So the only thing we can do is try to harness it in, whether we get back to a gold standard, a Bitcoin standard, or something else. There's got to be something. Something that the government can't control, which they can control gold prices. And they do. There's a giant conspiracy around that if you want to dive down that rabbit hole. All right. Let's get on to some trivia, folks. Let's do some fun stuff here. Let's do some trivia. Oh, let's go. In honor of yesterday's video where I got a lot of crap. What U.S. city is located near Lackland Air Force Base? Just guess. That's right. It's San Antonio. You know what I forgot? Good morning, Indy Trivia. Coming on down now without Dave. No Dave this morning again. I was actually going to have Dave come this morning. We were just going to, talk about it the whole weekend and everything. But I decided we'll save more of it for Friday with Dave, and then do what we're doing today. So once again, folks, if you are new here, well, let me save that. Let's get to some trivia. Let's not be serious for a bit. Which president had the most pets at the White House? David, what's the Don Ho thing? I don't get it. Mama want Dallas. Mama want. So the most pets in the White House. I'm going to go ahead and say, for some reason, I'm going to say Biden. Calvin Coolidge. I just know that I've seen the Biden headlines with his dogs and whatever. What is the active ingredients in smelling salts? I have an idea. But if you see the smelling salt videos of like hockey players, that's where you see it mostly, I feel like. They're doing smelling salts to try to wake up, snap out of it. I'm going to say ammonia. Ammonia it is. What is the most littered item in the U.S.? I'm going to say like soda pop. So, and we're saying soda pop from now on. Soda pop cans or bottles. Cigarette butts. Interesting. All right, what's going on here? There we go. What was Uranus originally called? I'm sorry, Uranus. No idea. Georgium Sidus? Is it named after a king or something? The classic novel's subtitle is The Whale. Is this one too easy? Do we all get this one? Isn't it Moby Dick? It's Moby Dick. That's right. Okay. Let's find a good one here. Bette Midler? She's a singer? I thought she was an actor. Oh, we're skipping her. What is the largest saltwater lake in the U.S.? Is this one too easy too? That's right, David Donho. It's Great Salt Lake, isn't it? Yeah, Great Salt Lake. Does anyone here watch Alone, by the way? Who was the first lawyer to become U.S. president? John Adams. Oh my gosh, dude. What a guess. That's what I'm talking about. We're on fire today. Hell yeah. What a guess. What team did basketball star Larry Bird play 13 seasons for? There's one for you, Gert. I know Gert loves the softballs. Yeah, it's let's just not waste our time. It's the Celtics. Okay, let's do, this is the last one here. Last one. What's the official state sport of Alaska? Hockey? Dog mushing. Dang it. I should have guessed. All right, folks, for you guys here on the live stream, once again, thank you guys for joining this morning. Obviously, we'll be doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as usual. For those of you that have early access to videos, that will be the Tuesday video will be posted later today. Everything, again, that video was posted or recorded last Tuesday. Thursday video was recorded on Thursday. So we don't have any mentions of what happened this weekend. And frankly, I feel like I see in the comments, a lot of people say, you know, I come to Zeducation to laugh. I come to have a good time and just kind of unwind. So I want it, and that's been my goal with it forever. Get a little serious a few times here and there, but I want it to stay lighthearted. It's hard to do that. It really is when things like this happen, but we're going to keep doing that. So for those of you that are joining for the first time this morning that are not on the live stream, I hope you decide to join us in the future. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Sorry, Monday, Wednesday, Friday on non-Zeducation days. But again, I wanted to just put this out there, talk about what happened a little bit because I think it's very serious. I think everyone, no matter what they do, for a profession, whatever type of content they do. I think it's worth addressing. And I wanted to do that this morning. So we got to keep cooler heads. We got to stay calm. We got to not stoop to that level. When we're on line, I highly encourage you guys to just turn it off if you find yourself getting too heated. Not one single person in the history of the world has changed their mind in the Facebook comments. Just know that. So yeah, I think things are going to be all right. I think things are going to play out how most of us want them to play out. And I think the country's headed in the right direction. I really do. So that all being said, that's all we got for today, folks. Hope to see you guys on tomorrow's education video and the Wednesday stream. That's it for today's show. I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Zedcast.